Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namah. Hindus celebrate the birth of Krishna with devotion and gaiety, as Christians celebrate the birth of Christ. Gokulashtami, which is Krishna's birthday, is celebrated in hundreds of thousands of temples with pomp and gaiety. Krishna, a divine incarnation of Vishnu, took birth in a cell in the city of Mathura. He was born to Vasudeva and Devaki, who had been imprisoned by Devaki's brother Kansa, because he had been forewarned that one of her children would prove to be his doom. On the night of Krishna's birth, the young infant was carried by Vasudeva in a casket to nearby hamlet of Gokul. He traversed the path crossing Jamuna river and deposited the young baby in the cradle of Yashoda, wife of Nanda, who was the head of the Gokul village. Gokul was a tiny hamlet of cottages and huts. Its inhabitants were mainly cowherds. Their only occupation was tending cows and selling the milk and milk products. Nanda was their chief. He lived in a comparatively more opulent home. Nanda was a simple, virtuous and generous man. The birth of a son to his wife Yashoda delighted him more than any other event in his pure, uncomplicated and frugal life. Hearing the news of the birth, Nanda had a bath and put on new clothes and ornaments, briefing everyone around that a son had been born to him. He invited Pandits to perform several ceremonies connected with the birth of a male child. Ritual worship was carried out to placate the demons and the ancestors. He gifted cows to Brahmins. He gave them dishes of sweet made of sesame and thickened milk, covered with scarves, embroidered with golden threads and studded with gems. It was an unending celebration. It is even today like that. Professional singers sang songs of joy and good wishes for the young prince, accompanied by drum beats, while other musicians blew on horns. The doors, courtyards and interiors of every dwelling in Brajabhumi were swept clean. The floors were smeared with cow dung as a disinfectant. Fragrant kevra water was sprinkled on the floor. The cottages were decorated with colorful festoons. Brilliantly colored flags bearing pictures of gods, strings of leaves and flowers hung like curtains, arches made of plantain trees, their broad leaves shining fresh and green. This added color to the rainy season, during which the sky is usually covered with dark grey lashed by heavy showers. As a mark of happiness, the limbs of cows, calves and bullocks were smeared with turmeric and oil paste. The animals were painted with ochre earth and mineral paints in several hues. They were decorated with sea shell necklaces variegated peacock feathers, garlands of flowers, and brilliant handmade tapestries. You can see animals decorated in the same fashion even today in those areas. Golden chains were put around their necks. Young and old cowherds put on their best clothes, angarkhas and colorful turbans, and wore thick gold and silver bracelets. They arrived at the residence of Nand, carrying gifts on earthen platters and in wicker baskets for the infant. The gopis, the women folk in Gokul, too were overjoyed on hearing that Ashoda had delivered a son. They dressed in lovely lehengas, backless cholis, and applied collyrium to their eyes. Their faces shone like lotus flowers at sunrise. Their heavy hips undulated, and their breasts danced as they hurried with plates full of gifts to Yashoda's house. The jeweled earrings the gopis wore glittered, and the heavy silver or gold necklaces reflected the sunbeams. The thick bracelets studded with gems and the bangles on their wrists jangled as they walked. Hastily, they were in such hurry that the flowers from the gajras in their hair shook loose and were scattered on the path they traversed. It was a string of processions. Each group of men or women walked as if they were on important missions. Reaching Nanda's residence, they blessed the child, took him tenderly in their arms, looked at his sublime face, and prayed for his safety and long life. They sang auspicious songs. Krishna had come to Gokul. Turmeric and sandal water was sprinkled on each guest. They were offered sweets to eat there and carry home. The celebrations continued throughout the day. While auspicious drums were beaten and horns were blown, the cowherds danced with abandon. They played holy with curd, milk, and colored water. The festival of colors was on that day shifted from Vasant to rainy season. The men applied color and curds to each other's faces. Nanda gifted the visitors clothes and ornaments as well as cows. Such was the celebration when Krishna was born. God had come. Vishnu had taken birth. It was a matter the importance of which was to unfold in the time to come. Let us recite Govinda bolo Hari Gopal bolo Radha Raman Hari Govinda bolo Govinda bolo Hari Gopal bolo Radha Raman Hari Govinda bolo Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Jai Krishna.